some nice spokes or ribs, whatever you want to call them. These here are wooden ribs. These are wet because they were a little crooked. So what I do is I put them in the pool, let them soften up, and then I'm going to straighten them out. But these originally was like that. So what I did is the wooden ones, I just broke it off. I just broke it off, and then you cut the rivet that's in here. There'll be a rivet here. Take a pair of Dykes side cutters and just cut the rivet, and then you'll see this end over here has got a nice metal piece here, and it's got a hole already drilled for you right here. You have the hole in the middle right here that's drilled for you already, and you have a hole here that's drilled for you already. This is the pole that it came off of, and this sat in here like this, and there was a wire that held them in place right here. And what I did was I just cut the wire and then yanked these out of here, and once you pull it out, you come across with a nice rib. This one here is pretty straight. You want to hold it and see if it's straight. So this is a good one. This one right here, this will be the example of the bad one. We have a bowed rib. So this rib being bowed, not straight, I dropped it into the pool overnight. I might even drop it in and let it sit for another night so it softens up, so I can put it in place and it'll dry once I get it in there. The small rib, the part that you broke off, just hold on to that. That's nice wood. This is teak. So if you have a teak umbrella, you don't want to throw that thing away. That wood lasts forever. So this right here is going to be something I can use for something in my garden. I'll build something with it. But this is the trellis I put together with these ribs. So these ribs here, I saved the brass piece on the end. This sits right here. And I cut these to length on this side and reinstalled the metal piece. So this was long, so I cut it off and I installed this metal piece on there, slid it on there and put a screw in there to hold it in place, and then I screwed it in place here. This side over here, I just centered it on the 4x4 and put one screw in there because it already has a hole in there for you. And you can see where they're butted together, one screw in each one. Don't tighten them up too tight because you'll split the wood. But you can see it's got the nice metal accent on there, on all of them. There's one screw in each one. I put a centered support in here to hold these up. You can see I already have my grapevine on here, and then I have the ends over here also, which I left the metal pieces on. These 4x4s, these uprights, are 3 feet long, and these are the distance for these are 9 inches. And then I'm probably going to put this one up here at the top just to round it off, and I might cap it with a 1x4 or something like that. But this is a patio umbrella Grape trellis. I put it together last night. You have 1, 2, 3 pieces of 4x4, 3 feet long, and you have 2 2x4s, 3 feet long. And the spacing on these is already predetermined by the rib on your umbrella. Since they have holes already pre-drilled, one here, one in the center, and there was one over here, but I left it long so I can cut them to length. So usually, well, on this one here, it came out where my fence down here was a certain length, so I had to keep it within those parameters. But if you're just building a freestanding one, you can use the hole that's already pre-drilled here and lay it out with your rib. So there's your umbrella rib. And you can see it has our metal trim piece here, which is really cool. It's got the hole there already drilled for you. The center one, where you took the center rib out, already has a hole pre-drilled for you. And this one over here, you'll have to drill a hole. So this sets the distance for your spacing on your uprights. You'll have a 4x4 here. You'll have a 4x4 here. You'll have a 2x4 here. And you'll have a 4x4 here. So I'll show you one more time. This is your rib. You come over here. And if you don't have this already set up here, buy yourself two 2x4x12s. One for the bottom, one for the top. Build your square, get your distances, and set it on the ground and build it on the ground. And remember, this distance right here is like 9. There's 9, 9, and then I'll put the last one up here at 9. So the distance between this 2x4 and the distance between this 4x4 and this 2x4 is dictated by this distance of the holes that are already pre-drilled in your ribs. So you just use the ends, make a mark right in the middle of the 4x4, and both of them will meet right there. You can see here and there. And this upright here is just to support the weight, because these ribs, they're strong, but you don't want them to start sagging. So you have one. This is 9 inches, 9 inches, and 9 inches. This riser is 3 feet tall. So you need 3 4x4 by 3 feet long, and 2 2x4s 3 feet long. And then whatever distance you have, whatever distance your ribs dictates, is how long you need a 2x4 for the bottom and a 2x4 for the top. And then you can build your frame and then add your ribs accordingly. So this is my version of a grape trellis using an umbrella that you paid probably, if it's a good market umbrella, a good nice teak wood umbrella with brass ends on it. Don't throw it away. Make yourself a garden trellis. This one came out really nice. The wood will last forever. You could treat it a little bit. And I went ahead and went with treated 4x4s. And You can pick those up at the Home Depot. Sometimes they can cut them to length for you. You can pick up a 4x4x10 and have them cut it into 3 pieces, 3 feet long, and then have a spare extra 2 feet, which I made little angle braces for my 4x4s just for looks good, and it helps out. I have screws going into the bottom, up inside here, up into the 2x4s and the 4x4s. One screw, there's the hole that the brace was bolted onto that you cut off. And on this here, I just mounted these vines on the front with green tape. This is just temporarily because this grapevine was just sort of laying on the ground. I trimmed it and set it up there and tied it where I wanted it. But I'm going to go ahead and weave these branches, these vines, around this piece of wood here, around this rib. And that's one thing about having the screws on here. You can take the screws out, take the rib off, and then go ahead and wrap your vine around the rib and then tie it off at the end. So this is Dawn from the Lazy 8 backyard. And so we have the vine wrapped around. Sometimes it doesn't want to go all the way around, so you just want to tie it off and start guiding it in the direction you want it to go. You can see we're wrapped around here. We have it wrapped around here. You just want to guide these where you want them to go. So once it's wrapped around it, it's going to grow into that groove. So it'll follow that, and it'll get thick around this area that it's growing around. This was a little thick, so I didn't want to wrap it. So I'll probably just leave it like that and maybe put a tie here. But you can see I got my screw here, screw down there, and it's wrapped around. So you go in the back, over the top, around the front, in the back, around the front, in the back. So our weave starts over here at the Lazy 8, infinity circle, infinity sign. I don't know, what should I call it? Infinity, the infinity garden, or the Lazy 8 garden? We're growing, ready for spring. And so we have the vine wrapped around. Sometimes it doesn't want to go all the way around, so you just want to tie it off and start guiding it in the direction you want it to go. You can see we're wrapped around here. We have it wrapped around here. You just want to guide these where you want them to go. So once it's wrapped around it, it's going to grow into that groove. So it'll follow that, and it'll get thick around this area that it's growing around. This was a little thick, so I didn't want to wrap it. So I'll probably just leave it like that and maybe put a tie here. But you can see I got my screw here, screw down there, and it's wrapped around. So you go in the back, over the top, around the front, in the back, around the front, in the back. So our weave starts over here at the Lazy 8, infinity circle, infinity sign. I don't know, what should I call it? Infinity, the infinity garden, or the Lazy 8 garden? We're growing, ready for spring.